So I will be doing part B on problem 2 on page 271. This problem is cosine 2x plus 3 cosine x equals 1. The first thing to do for this is to move 1 on to the other side so that the entire equation is set equal to 0. So you end up with cosine 2x plus 3 cosine x minus 1 equals 0. Now from here, one of the easiest things to do, since you can't factor this equation, is to take cosine 2x and substitute one of the other many equations that we have cosine 2x equal to, and substitute that into this equation. Now out of the three equations that we have for what is equal to cosine 2x, the one that works best for us is 2 cosine squared x minus 1. So we'll substitute that in for cosine 2x. Okay. Oops. 2 sine cosine squared x plus 3 cosine x minus 1 equals 0. And from here what we can just do is combine the two ones so that we have a full quadratic equation of 2 cosine squared x plus 3 cosine x minus 2 equals 0. Now here we have an equation that we can factor. And when we factor this, it turns into 2 cosine x minus 1 times cosine x plus 2 equals 0. Now that we have the equation in this factored form, we can set each of these, we can set each side of this equal to 0, and then solve for x from there. So we'll end up with 2 cosine x minus 1 equals 0, and cosine x plus 2 equals 0. And from there we can solve so that we get the two equations of cosine x equals 1/2 and cosine x equals -2. Now unfortunately -2 does not fit within our designated parameters, so we can't use that for this equation. But we have to just use cosine x equals 1/2. Now, what is notable about this equation is that 1/2 is positive, and from what we know about cosine, about cosine and sine. Pardon me for a second. Okay, I'll just use pen. What we know about cosine and sine is that cosine is positive on the first and fourth quadrant of the unit circle. So since cosine x is equal to positive 1/2, that means that the two answers have to be on this side of the unit circle. Now, from what we know of the unit circle, we know the ordered pair. We know the ordered pairs of sine and cosine for, sorry, I'm having a bit of a brain fart. We know the ordered pairs for the sine and cosine for the specific points within the unit circle. Since we know the first, you just need to know the first quadrant in order to know these three. So that you have your 3 points of pi over 6, pi over 4, and pi over 3. And knowing just these, you can know the ordered pair for basically the entire circle. And what this helps us for this particular equation is that x over 3 is equal to the ordered pair of 1/2 and square root 3 over 2. So in this equation, positive 1/2 is the cosine value. So we know that pi over 3 is going to be one of our points. However, we also need it for the fourth quadrant. And now, from what we know of the unit circle, we can figure out that the fourth quadrant value that is equal to 1/2, using the ordered pairs that we know, is 5 pi over 3. So our answer for this problem is x equals pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3.